What's up, Gruntworks Nation? What's up, VTT? It's the Big Earl here, CEO, founder of Veteran Trash Talk. We're going to talk about financial advising because I don't know anything about that, and neither do most of you. However, some of you have money, and are you doing the right thing? We're going to bring on Army veteran Ken Hewitt, a financial advisor with Series 7, lightsaber stuff. I don't know, but he's skilled, he's qualified, and he's going to tell you what you should do with your money. So make sure you click on the interested or going on the events tab on either the Gruntworks page or Veteran Trash Talk page. Enjoy the show. Two-thirds of Americans are at risk to experience blackout. You could be one of them, sitting in the dark and cold for hours, for days, maybe even weeks. Are you ready to protect your family? You could be with Patriot Power Solar Generator 2000X. Folks say this new solar generator from 4 Patriots is worth its weight in gold. Why? Because this generator has double the capacity and is expandable so you can run the big appliances like your fridge even longer. Or other devices like an electric blanket, microwave, RV air conditioner, or even an electric wheelchair. You also get 12 outlets, including 4 AC outlets, so you can power more devices at once, and 2 USB-C outlets, which can charge your phone 20 times faster than a regular plug. Best of all, this new solar generator is fume-free, safe to use inside, and never needs gas, ever. Over 150,000 Americans trust Patriot Power generators. Go to 4patriots.com/VTTGW to get your solar generator now. You'll even get a solar panel included free.
Hey, what's up, Mental Health Nation? Hope everybody's doing okay on this wonderful Wednesday. I'm Cliff Bauman. I'm joined today with my co-host. Finally, she's been so busy last couple of weeks that they'll tune in. So, Lynn, thanks for tuning in for this very important edition of Mental Health Warriors. As we're going to dive into that a little bit. Before we jump into that, you see the QR code up there on the left-hand side of the screen for Visa Across America. Very important program. You can scan that with your phone. You go there and donate to ensure that a wreath is placed on the soldiers' tombs during the holidays. Such an important program they do, and so proud to be part of it. And as you know, that they replay my podcast, Reads Across America Radio, on Fridays and Sundays. Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. Super easy to find. Just download your favorite app, whether it's the TuneIn app, the iHeartRadio app, or the Odyssey app, and search for Reads Across America Radio. And for all the great programming, not even mine, but also listen to all the great music they play. And I think that there are like 50 podcasts now on the show. So very happy and very honored to be part of them and part of that program, especially for what they do, for all the, the fallen soldiers across the United States. Then my Mental Health Warrior book is still available on my website or wherever you buy your favorite books at. So please feel free to go out to my website, cliffordbauman.com. That's how you spell it. Or go out to Barnes & Nobles, Amplify, or wherever you buy your books. If you do buy it through my website, I will sign it and mail it out to you. Might just take a little bit longer, but you'll get it eventually. So with that, Lynn, we haven't seen you for 2 weeks. What the heck you been up to?
Oh my gosh, Cliff. I have been up to so much. Well, first of all, I travel for work.
Yes.
So they had me literally in the sticks. Like it was rural.
You trying to say hi to my family back out there in them sticks?
Rural Florida, right? And so when people think about Florida, they think about beaches or lakes or like really crystal clear springs. Alligators. They don't think about like the rural area where it's just forest and farms and absolutely nothing. Literally, the place that I was at, there was one bar that sold liquor, and they closed at 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
I know the whole town. I know, I met this. I sat at the bar. I was like, okay, I'm after work. I'm like, okay, what do I do? I'm going to the park, go to hang out, and literally just made friends with people and listened to their life stories until 10 p.m.
And then everybody goes home.
Then everyone goes home. Well, everything was it was a commute. So we stayed in one area, then had to commute 30 minutes this way, then 30 minutes that way. And then, yeah, but I'm finally back. I'm glad to be back here, back to normal schedule.
Yeah.
However, this weekend is IW Savannah. So the Savannah Irreverent Warrior Savannah hike is this weekend on the 27th. So I will be there and I'll be helping out. And we have a good group going up there. So if you're in the area, come on down. It's at 7 a.m. Saturday. We do have a meet and greet also. So if you have Facebook, check us out on Facebook. They have their own group, IW Savannah, and also on irreverentwarriors.com. So
they can follow you too on all your social media and get all the links to all that also.
Yep.
So be sure and do that. Click like and follow for Pacific Tita. VTTs for Pacific Tita, right? Is that
that's right?
How they find you?
That's right.
So the last time you were on 2 weeks ago, you were having the big Irreverent Warrior down in, I think it was Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, so that was literally a month ago.
Oh, a month ago. Yeah. Okay, wow, it's been that long.
It was March 23rd, and I purposely, on purpose, like tried to stay away from social media and from like doing any hikes or Irreverent Warrior stuff. Like I literally just checked out because that's so much work putting on a huge event like that.
Oh yeah,
literally, I had 300 veterans show up. Over 300.
Wow, that's amazing.
With our volunteers, and they came from all over. I had some come from Puerto Rico, some from like Ohio. Monica came from California, Hollywood, California. Yeah. So like people just came from all over just to come to my hike that I put on, which was great. Like it was awesome, amazing. We had a few hiccups here and there, but overall it was a great hike. At the end of the hike, this is the crazy part. So we thought that it was going to rain. It didn't rain till like the last 4 blocks, and it literally like was torrential rain pour. And so I'm supposed to do my hike brief, safety brief at the end. Well, that didn't happen because I was going to do that on the street. So we ended up running and booking it to like safety, to shelter, which is VFW. But it was a great time. So I was happy to do that. I took an entire month off. Literally yesterday made a month since that hike. And I posted about it. I was like, I purposely took that month off to like just clear my brain and not do anything at all when it came to that hike or Irreverent Warriors. So
well, that's okay to take a break every now and then. With all the stuff I do and everything, and just every now and then, you just got to take a break from it, right? It can get overwhelming and too much, and you don't do anybody any justice if you don't take care of yourself, right? So you got to allow yourself to recharge and get back into the fight.
Well, now it's April. It's I don't know if you talked about this month. It's the month of military child. So
yes,
we didn't talk about that. All military children out there. Happy month of military child. We wear purple for y'all. I didn't wear purple today, but they're very resilient people. And they go through so much changes, and not a lot of people recognize what children go through, and that's a lot. So,
it's funny. It's interesting. Of course, we live on base here, right? And Lloyd goes out and plays with the boys. Well, this morning it was raining, and Lloyd rides his bike to school in the rain when it's sunny outside, whatever. He's just so happy to get out and ride his bike. He doesn't care. Some of his friends doesn't do that, but I thought, you know what? Kudos to Lloyd for not being a fair weather biker. He'll bike in the rain. He'll bike in the wind. But also he knows I wasn't going to take him to school. He's going to have to go anyway. So, and that's okay. Kids can do that. They're tough. They can handle it. Mm-hmm. But he was outside playing today. And I want to talk about this real quick because it goes into bullying. And then we're going to get in talking about the cell phone thing because that's very important because I want to get into that. But I teach my boys to take care of themselves. I think that's very important. Whether you have a male or a daughter or a son, it's very important that they know how to take care of themselves because you can't be around them all the time. And Lloyd and his friend was outside playing today. And I always tell Lloyd, you don't ever he's 9, but you don't start a fight, but you finish it, right? That's what I tell him.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And they're outside, they're playing, and this one kid gets a little angry. And apparently this kid's got some issues. I don't know this kid, but I'll make a point to talk to the father. But the kid had like the Nerf guns, and he threw it at Lloyd and hit Lloyd in the head. Well, of course, Lloyd's natural reaction is chase after the kid and tackle him, get him on the ground, and it pretty much ended with that. And then, of course, some of the parents intervened or something. I don't know what happened, but I told Lloyd, good job. Hey, the kid will realize that next time maybe he probably doesn't want to throw that gun at you.
Exactly.
But some of the other kids, he had done it to other kids, and the other kids didn't do anything. Of course, Lloyd very quickly will react if somebody does something not right. But I teach him to do that. I don't teach him to provoke it, but I teach him to take care of themselves because I don't want my kids bullied.
You can't prevent the bullying. You can only do so much as a parent. Like I tell my kids, don't be a bully. If you see a child alone, talk to them. If you see that child feeling left out, include them because you don't want to be that kid, right?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to bullying, I can't prevent that. I can only teach my kids
That's right.
what not to do. And so if it happens to my kids, which it does, because I take care of my nephew and he's in middle school and in 7th grade, and middle school is the worst. Oh my God, it's the worst. It's terrible. They're going through all these hormones. And then my daughter's in 5th grade. So anyway, there's all this bullying. There's all this, bad mouthing off on other people. So I try to tell them how to have witty comebacks. I'm like, if you can't if they're talking bad to you, just have a witty comeback. Maybe you're just like that because you're jealous or anything like that. But if it comes down to it, if they're trying to fight, I tell them, I'm like, I don't condone fighting. But if it comes down to that, you guys know what to do. That's why I put my kids in.
You have a right to protect yourself at all times.
So my kids are in MMA so that they know how to, protect themselves.
Yeah.
So I made that mistake with my first, my 2 oldest boys. I didn't have them in any martial arts or self defense classes or even anything like that because I didn't think it would happen. But he got pushed in the basketball court and had deep scrapes on the side of his face. And I was just so disappointed. I was hurt, and that was a wake up call for me to teach them. You can't prevent the bullying, but you can.
But you can stop it.
You can stop it. You can stop it, or de-escalate the situation.
Sure. Yeah, I think it's important. I think as parents, we have to teach our children that. But along with that, I don't want to get too much because I'm going to get into some stuff. But if you guys watched my Mental Health Minute on Tuesday, I woke up to my phone. I went to bed the night before. My phone was working fine, no issues. Now, like everybody else, my life revolves around my phone, right? I do banking on my phone. I have apps linked to my credit card on my phones, all this stuff. Everybody has that, right? So, Chris, can you pop up that picture that I sent you real quick? So I wake up Tuesday morning, and I don't know, that is on my phone. And so I'm like, what the hell is this? I reboot my phone, right? I shut it off. Yes, the do shut off. I rebooted it, and now I have no functions on the phone. I can't swipe. I can't shut off. I can't do nothing.
Wow,
it's
really?
Completely locked at 6:30 in the morning. So immediately I jump up, and what's the first thing I do? I go straight to my computer, and I start changing all my passwords to all my banking accounts, to all my credit cards, everything linked to my phone. I immediately start changing those passwords because I don't know if somebody's hacked my phone, is now getting access to my apps and everything. And so, kind of a long story short, I was able, took me about a couple hours because, I know a lot of stuff and I had my phone locked down pretty good, I thought. But in talking to some people and everything, I figured out how to do, I got the iPhone 13. I found out how to do a hard reboot because I could push it, but I couldn't swipe it or nothing. I had no function on it. So you can't shut your phone off if it's like that. You just push the power up, the volume up button, the volume down button, and then push the power button for 10 seconds and it resets the phone. The second my phone reset, because I'd researched it, when my phone came back up, they say immediately put it in airplane mode. So I immediately stuck it in airplane mode, and then they say start going through your old apps and deleting them while it's in airplane mode. Well, Lloyd had played with my phone for years, and he had downloaded, I don't know, he probably had 400 video games on my phone. I just wasn't, to be honest with you, I wasn't paying attention to it. And it's kind of my fault. Some of this is my fault. But, so I started going in, and these apps that hadn't been updated, it allows people to backdoor into your phone if the apps get hacked, right? Because if you don't update them, it doesn't get security updates. So I started deleting all these games off my phone that had been on there. But along with that, I had apps that I hadn't been using for a long time. And so I started deleting those. And you get all that deleted. And then there's I'm going to show a video here in a little bit that's going to show you what to do if you think your phone's been hacked. About 7 minutes. I think this is very important to play, because if it happens to you, that's a single point of failure. And they teach us in the military not to have a single point of failure. And what are you going to do if now you have your two-factor identification set up to log on to your bank, right? You go to log on to your bank, they have the two-factor verification, and it's your phone. Well, you can't access your phone now. Then how do you get into your bank to change your passwords? If it's two-factor verification set up for your USAA, your Navy Fed, or your bank, any of your banking apps, or now any of your credit card apps, the same way too, the two-factor verification. Same thing with your email, two-factor verification. If your phone's shut down, you can't access it. You can't access none of that. And so then what do you do then, right? And I was like, holy crap. So what I've done is I've gone in, changed my two-factor verification now to an email. And then I took off my two-factor verification on one of my email addresses. So now I can get access to my stuff if it happens again. Mm-hmm. Hopefully it won't, because after you watch the video, it should help you. But this is very important. And even if you have an Android, the same thing. I think the video I'm going to show, the app that they show, and I did download it on my phone. It did speed up my phone some bit, and I stuck it on Lloyd's iPad. They show it at the end of the video. It's your choice to download or not. Do your research. But I watched probably about 15 different videos on if your phone had been hacked. And so watch this video. I implore you to rewatch the video or have your phone with you and go through these steps that these two guys talk about, because it's very important as they go through it, because some of the stuff we know, some of the stuff we forget. But if you lose the function of your phone, think about that for a second. You lost all your photos. Mm-hmm. You lost maybe mental health.
People lose their mind when they lose their phone. Like, I remember when Facebook was down for only like 30 minutes, people were losing their mind and then even lost their accounts because that was done.
So this is probably one of the best videos I came across. And so I wanted to share it with you. I am using the product. It's free at the end. It's your choice to use it, but I strongly suggest you do it. I strongly suggest that you stick it on your child's iPad or iPhone that they have, because there's a setting in there, because even though they watch YouTube and even though you can have it set on child settings, there's still crap that pops up that's adult content, and this is just another layer to maybe stop that. So let's watch this video and then we're going to talk some more about it.
The Apple Store, I used to say that iPhones can't get hacked.
That's not as true as it used to be.
To be honest, I'm not sure how true it ever was.
Usually when people think their phone is hacked, it isn't, but that doesn't mean all is well.
By the time they get to that point, they're one step away from being scammed or hacked for real.
In this video, we'll show you what happens to make people think they've been hacked and how you can escape dangerous situations online.
And we'll show you how scammers use your fear of being hacked to steal your personal information and your money.
Let's start with the most common reason people think their phone is hacked. They are online, they visit a website and it says, your phone has been hacked.
Enter the hacker's evil twin, the scammer. They both have one thing in common. They want your money.
And this is how they try to get it. They're trying to trick us into believing that they have a solution to fix our iPhones.
In truth, your iPhone isn't broken. You're supposed to feel afraid at this point, and they're here to save you.
You call them to get unhacked somehow.
Then they ask you for your credit card information because, of course, their service and time are valuable.
And then they've got your money, and they're going to keep taking your money until you cancel your credit card.
In this case, you weren't hacked, you were scammed. What should you have done instead?
The best thing to do when you think you've been hacked is just to close out of Safari by swiping up from the bottom of the screen, then open Settings, scroll down, and tap on Safari, scroll down, and tap Clear History and Website Data, then tap Clear History and Data. Then tap Close Tabs.
Exactly. This is the Safari Reset button. The next time you open Safari, those tabs are closed and the website is gone.
Yep, the scammers didn't get any of your personal information because Safari doesn't send information without your permission. Later in this video, we'll show you how to take preemptive action against those hackers.
But as I learned in 5th grade, even the best protection isn't 100% effective all the time.
Moving on to another way people think they're hacked, text messages. Let's open the Messages app and look, there's been fraudulent activity on my bank account. That's totally real.
This is the exact exact same trick we just talked about. The only difference is how they get you into their evil sales funnel.
Instead of a website that shoots you off to a scam, it's that link inside the text message. If you click the link in a spam text message, reset Safari just like we did in the previous example.
Step 2, there's an awesome new iOS 16 feature that makes reporting this scammer 1,000 times easier than it used to be.
Open the Messages app again, then tap back in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Swipe right to left on the message, tap the trash can, and then tap delete and report junk.
A few months ago, we published a video where we walked through the process of manually reporting this to your carrier. Now your iPhone does it automatically. It's awesome.
Up until this point, we've been dealing with scammers pretending to be hackers, but what about the real McCoy?
It's true that iPhones can get hacked. It's so true nowadays that even Apple admits it.
Let's talk about the built-in settings that protect your iPhone from being hacked. Let's close out of the Messages app, open Settings, and tap back to the main page of Settings. Then scroll up and tap General, and then tap Software Update.
Software updates always contain bug fixes and security updates. Keeping your iPhone up to date is always the safest move.
Then tap Automatic Updates and make sure the switch next to Security Responses and System Files is on.
This installs Rapid Security Responses and System Files on your iPhone.
What's interesting to me is that it says some system files will always be installed automatically even if the switch is turned off. I wonder what the difference is.
No idea, they're not going to come out and tell us. Apple isn't a perfect company, but this is one example of where you should trust them.
The last thing Apple wants is for your personal information to get stolen. Photos app, Home app, Health app, Apple's entire business model is based around you trusting them.
And to paraphrase Steve Jobs, if anyone's going to steal from Apple, I want it to be us.
But this isn't the only setting that shows just how vulnerable your iPhone is. Let's go back to the main page of Settings. Scroll down and tap Privacy and Security, then scroll down and tap Lockdown Mode. This is a setting we hope you'll never have to use.
We're not going to turn it on, but we'll explain what it does and when you should use it.
The information on Apple's website is better than what you see here in the Settings app. Lockdown Mode is an optional extreme protection that's designed for the very few individuals who, because of who they are or what they do, might be personally targeted by some of the most sophisticated digital threats. Most people are never targeted by attacks of this nature. Don't take it personally, you just aren't that important.
Thanks, David. You always know just what to say. So what does it do exactly?
It takes all the easiest ways iPhones can get hacked and just shuts them right down.
In Messages, attachments and links like the one we showed you before are blocked.
Web browsing, we've talked about that one. FaceTime, Apple services like the Home app, and shared albums, those are turned off too.
USB accessories like computers and cars are no longer trusted.
The first time you connect your iPhone to a car, a pop-up appears asking if you want to trust that device. Once you trust it forever, and that device has access to data on your iPhone.
Let's say you're at the amusement park and you need to charge your iPhone. You plug your iPhone into a public charging station and the Trust This Device pop-up appears. That is a huge red flag.
You never have to enter a passcode to charge your iPhone. Somebody is after your data.
And configuration profiles. Let's talk about them next.
A configuration profile is a single file that sets up your iPhone in a very specific way. Businesses and schools all over the world use them.
You create these profiles using Apple's Configurator app for Mac.
But they can be used for nefarious purposes.
For instance, a hacker could set up a proxy server to send all your internet traffic through their servers.
All it takes is for a profile to be installed once. You might never know it's there because they're designed to be invisible.
How do we know if there are any profiles installed?
Let's tap back to the main page of Settings, scroll up and tap General, scroll down and tap on VPN and Device Management, and here you'll see Configuration Profiles. If you don't see this section in Settings, you don't have any profiles installed.
We have the iOS 16 beta software profile installed on our iPhones because we need to keep up with the latest features. That comes directly from Apple and we trust them.
If you see a profile you don't recognize, like subscribe to our channel, tap on that, then tap Remove Profile. Just make sure it's not a profile from your business or school.
Never install a profile from a website, email, or person you don't trust on your iPhone.
Let's talk about what we can do to protect ourselves from hackers and take it a step further.
We'll start by recommending a free app that everyone should download. It's called Cloudflare Warp.
Go back to the home screen on your iPhone and then open the App Store. Tap the Search tab in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, then type in Warp and tap the blue search button.
The app we're going to install is called 1.1.1.1 Faster Internet. It's a free app by a company called Cloudflare. Cloudflare is trustworthy. They're a leader in internet security. And by the way, they didn't pay us to say this or recommend this app.
Warp is a free VPN and faster than the DNS you have at home. Let's download the app and then open it up.
They're going to ask you to install a profile. This one is safe.
Let's tap Install VPN Profile. and then tap Allow. Enter your passcode. You can turn on notifications if you want, but I'm going to say not now.
You turn it on by tapping on that switch. You don't need to pay for Warp Plus.
After turning on the switch, tap the hamburger menu in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, then go to Advanced, tap Connection Options, tap DNS Settings, tap 1111 for families, and then choose Block Malware or Block Malware and Adult Content.
Like we said, no protection is 100% effective, but this really does make your iPhone a lot safer, and you probably won't notice it's on.
We've talked about hackers and scammers, but what about legitimate companies that want access to all your photos or your location all the time?
Watch our next video to find out how to shut them down too.
I just a quick note: if you have an Android, just Google 7 ways to protect my Android, and I'm sure you'll get a similar video that comes up, because there's a whole bunch of videos out there on how to protect your phone, protect your data. But this is so important because, Lynn, just as you said, I mean, people, just in losing their phone, they'll lose their mind.
Yeah, their entire lifeline is on there, and so some people work from their phone.
Especially nowadays.
So I know a lot of social media, because that's actually a position now, a social media director. Lots of social media people are on there, on their phones, and everything's on there. And once you get hacked, you lose everything.
Yeah. So this is, just so everybody knows, I did download it on my phone. This is my phone. So this is the app right there, Warp, and it's on. So it's on and working.
I like how it blocks malware, and then you can go on your kid's phone and block the adult content also. But then sometimes that could be iffy too, because then maybe you can't look at news channels or different sources for whatever it is. So
I think on that app there, it kind of really goes towards porn and stuff like that. Okay. Is what they're talking about. That's what they mean by adult sites. And Lloyd watches YouTube, and even though I have YouTube set up for his age, sometimes there's paid advertising inside that YouTube channel that isn't appropriate for kids.
Right.
And so I'm hoping that this will block some of it. Of course, I'm always around him when he's on YouTube and stuff. He never really does anything by himself. But, I just imagine the close to 4 hours of stress I went through. Just not that I was worried about losing the stuff on my phone, because my stuff's pretty backed up. Make sure your stuff's also backed up to your cloud if you pay for the cloud. Make sure that's done on a regular basis, because even if they would have hacked my phone, they wouldn't have got into my iTunes account, because I don't have my password saved on my phone to my iTunes account.
And that's a smart way for the scammers and the hackers. They go through your kids' apps. Yeah. Like they hack the apps, and that's what they go through. And I learned that with my two older kids that are adults now. They used to download all of the games on their iPad and then on the laptops. And then I would get those messages all the time. Until one time my laptop just crapped out and I had to get a new one. So now with my kids now, the young ones, like I've taught them, you need to ask permission before you download an app. And then if you have all these different apps, which ones are you not using? Yeah. Delete those. And then in order for you to get a new app, delete a couple of the apps that you're not using.
Yeah.
So
I talked to a cyber security friend of mine, and I showed him the message, and he said, they probably tried to hack into your phone, but because of my settings, it stopped them.
Yeah.
And they're probably trying to figure out something. I just acted so fast that they didn't have time that was going to occur. But he had never seen that message before. That was something that he had never seen before, and he was going to go out and research it more. But, he sent me the steps. Like I said, I rebooted the phone and then put it in airplane mode. Had I known early on, instead of rebooting my phone, I should have just immediately stuck it in airplane mode, because that ends it. They can't access it. If on airplane mode you have your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth.
Turn off the Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm.
Shut off the Wi-Fi in airplane mode, because you can change it. I don't know about Android, because I've never had an Android. But on the iPhone, you can shut off. You can have your airplane mode on, but still have your Bluetooth on and still have your Wi-Fi on.
Yeah.
Make sure that all that's shut off. If it does happen, if your phone locks up or something. But also I learned that this whole process is that the iPhone 13 and higher have a cache problem. And so just like with your computer, if you don't delete your history after a while, if you don't clean up your apps like I wasn't, they just get clogged up and the phone just doesn't work right. And so that was another issue I had going on too with my phone. And that's why I had to go in and remove all those apps. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, it's important with all the apps that you have on your phone to make sure that they get updated. Because, it's tough enough. I mean, if you're having mental health issues or PTSD or whatever, and you got a lot of things, a lot of memories on your phone, you don't want to lose that. And you don't want to go through the stress of that, because that's something else you got to deal with. You don't need to deal with it. This is something that's going to take a couple hours. You can do it each day or whatever. And just make sure your phone and your computer too, if you have an Apple computer, you can download the same app. And just make sure your stuff's a little bit more protected, because it's getting crazy out there. I'm sorry, it's getting crazy.
I mean, even the text messages, if you've gotten a weird text message from like the USPS or Social Security, that means that your data has been leaked out there somewhere, right? And then they have access to send you text messages. And if you click on that link, like, you're gonna get hacked. It's one of those links that you shouldn't. If you don't recognize it, don't click on it. Obviously, like, USPS is not going to send you a text message saying you have
Social Security's not. I mean, VA's not. They're not going to send you asking for bank information, Social Security. They're not going to ask for none of that stuff. And so, we're all smart, but sometimes we're busy or just not thinking straight and accidentally do that. Now, in the video, he did show you that you can, slide the text message over, click on delete, and then delete report. If you slide it over, it's not going to actually infect your phone.
On iPhone, you can report it as spam now.
Yeah.
So, like, you can press delete and then report as spam.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about on the video. That came out with iOS 16. I think we're on 17.4 now on the update. So check your phone. I don't have automatic updates on my phone. And I do that for a reason, is because sometimes with the updates, they change settings in your phone. And so you say, okay, so I want to read about what that update's going to do. And then I'll go and update my phone. Not that my phone's out of date. I just don't want to automatically do it overnight and then wake up and then some security feature that I had set on my phone is now changed, because that does happen.
Yeah.
But if you forget all that, if you got the Warp on there or some other app that does the same thing as Warp they talked about in video, then you're protected, or at least you're a little bit more protected.
I'm always the last one to update my phone. My husband's like, did you do the update? And I'm like, no. He's like, it's months ago. You should have updated it months ago. And then, like, eventually my phone gets fed up with me and updates on its own.
Well, that goes back to what they said in the video, that even though you have the feature shut off, that some critical updates will automatically update on your phone.
Yep.
So, and I didn't know that. That's kind of scary. But you think about it. I mean, like location services, like if you go, let's say, somewhere and I take a photo, if you don't have location shut off, it's going to, in that photo, when you post it, it's going to tell people exactly where you're at.
That's been around since like 2015.
Yeah.
So I used to be able to catch people in line. I was like, where were you? Okay, this photo was taken at this location.
Yeah, that's right.
And this time, what are you talking about? So
I have that feature shut off on my phone. But if I'm going to post something, I'll tell you where I'm at.
Yeah.
But usually I post after I'm already back home. Sometimes I post when I'm there, but a lot of times, if you see postings of me saying, "Oh, we went on vacation, it was great," I'm more than likely I'm already back home or on my way back home before I start posting stuff. It's good to be safe out there. You just never know nowadays. It's crazy.
Especially if, like, there's nobody at your house, and then there's people who know where you live, and they're like, oh, they're on vacation, blah, blah. I always have someone at my house, so I'm never worried. But I've learned to post late posts, right? The hashtag late post.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, that's good to do. But, hey, just remember you got the 2-factor verification. If it's only on your phone, that's a single point of failure. So make sure that you have, like me, I changed mine to an email address, and then shut the verification off of that email address. Just so if something happens, and you could drop your phone and break it or whatever, and you're going to set up your new phone, and maybe you didn't back everything up to your cloud, or your iTunes account wasn't backed up properly. I don't know what they do in Android because I've never had one, but I assume they got a similar service. So just make sure that everything's updated and backed up, because
I think
you don't want to lose your stuff.
I think Android goes through Google. because they use like Google Drive. Don't quote me, Android users. I'm not a green bubble person. Okay.
Yeah. I've never used an Android. So I mean, my first iPhone I got was the iPhone 3, and I had my iPhone 3 until I think the 6 or the one that came out. I had my iPhone 3 so long that it eventually got to the point where it wouldn't work anymore. And so then I had to go. So then they forced me to go get iPhone 6, I think it was, or 7, or what, I don't remember.
That reminds me, I had like iPhone 1, 2, and 3, and mine was so destroyed. My friends would call me no service. They're like, "Oh, goes Lynn, aka no service," and walking around.
That's funny.
We've come a long way since then.
Yeah, we have. But it's part of your life now. I mean, it's your third hand. It's your TV. It's your bank. It's everything. It's I miss the days of the Razor. I really like the Razor phone.
It's so ridiculous. So Ben, right, my husband, is in Virginia. Yeah. He's on a ship. He's on an aircraft carrier, and so they have to stand duty, 24-hour watch. And he was on duty last night. Tell me why he's texting me and sending me TikToks in his rack. Like, how is this possible? He goes, "Oh, we have Wi-Fi on the ship now." I'm like, what? What? I said, you need to do duty the old school way without Wi-Fi, okay?
Yeah, really.
You need to be miserable.
Yeah, but if they can do that, then they can track where the ship is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I mean, out to sea, obviously, it's not. I mean, it won't work as well, I would say, or they would probably turn it off because, that would definitely be national security.
Yeah, that'd be kind of, but that's how it is nowadays. Everybody can get.
It's just when they're in port.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's it. But when you was in the Navy, they didn't have that.
No, right? We didn't even have smartphones until like the end of my enlistment. So I'm dating myself now.
We don't talk about myself.
Yeah, I mean you're allowed to have cell phones and in boot camp. We used to have a cash card or a card to call home or something.
What was that? What's Chris saying on a group chat here? I don't have my glasses on.
Lynn was in the Navy. They were using flags to communicate. You know what? Signalmen, okay?
Yeah, that's right. They were flashing lights or something. I don't know. I've never
actually,
been in the
funny story is we have to know how to communicate with the flags and Morse code with the flashing lights, but it's not like we don't really use that anymore. We have. Chris, you're an asshole.
but I mean, it wasn't our private chat, so not everybody saw it. But it was kind of funny what he said. So.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
That's funny. But hey, we're gonna wrap this up. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I hope that you appreciate about the iPhone or your Android. Please get yourself protected. Please get your computer protected. They can even hack your TV now. These online TVs, people don't think about it, but they can hack your TV. Yeah. And so if your TV's linked to your phone because you built those stuff up on your phone from your TV, there's a link there. And so my suggestion is once you're done using whatever that is, take it off because they can hack your TV. And TV's a little bit easier to hack, I think, than your phone. But once they get on your TV, they can get access to your phone. So that's just something to think about. I don't think a lot of people think about it. But hey, before we wrap this up, Lynn, do you have any final departing words? And tell everybody about VTT and the great store they have with their T-shirts.
All right, guys. If you haven't checked it out, check us out on VeteranTrashTalk.com. We have wonderful merch there. Are you wearing the new shirt?
Well, this is my shirt.
Oh, that's your shirt.
Yeah.
But we have Mental Health Warrior shirt up there. The QR code is right there for you to scan if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook. Otherwise, we have great merch up there, including that button. That great button that has.
Oh yeah, I didn't get my button out. It's in my closet behind me.
I have it in my getting ready area by my makeup. So somebody tries to bother me, I just press the button.
I tell you, it's funny because out here for one, the Italians like my shirt with the Mustang and the saying on the back, but it's funny they like the "Don't Be a Triggered Pansy" shirt.
Yeah, I saw that they came out with a new color also.
Yeah, and then they asked me, said, "Do they have that in Italian?"
Right?
Quit being a trigger
So
panty
if you're
shirt in
gonna
Italian.
shop, you can use the code Pacific Tita. Just putting that in there. But anyway, our merchandise is on there, and all of our great podcasts are on there as well.
That's right.
Check us out on VeteranTrashTalk.com.
And you're going to be in Savannah, Georgia, coming up for Irreverent Warrior on.
Yep, I'll be there tomorrow through Sunday.
All right. Well, it sounds like a lot of fun. I know the veterans really appreciate that, Lynn, and it's really a great thing that you do with them. And it's just a way to, if you're in the Georgia area, go out. There's no reason to be home alone. There's no reason to suffer alone. It's just a lot of fun. And you just need to plan a trip to Naples, Italy for Irreverent Warrior, and it'll be a lot of fun out here.
Yeah, I think they have one out there. I'm pretty sure they do.
I have to look into that because I'll definitely go and join in if they have one. But hey, we got that QR code up there on the left for Wreaths Across America. Just click on that. You can donate $5 for a wreath to ensure that wreaths placed on the tombstone of fallen soldiers. My area is Arlington Cemetery. But if they oversell Arlington, then it goes out all across the nation. So it's very important that you do that. We have our sponsor, For Patriots. You see it running there across the bottom. Springtime's coming. We had a lot of storms. It's been storming here off and on all day today. You just never know when something's going to get hit. So it's always good to have a good supply of food and or that generator there to back up your stuff so you don't lose anything. It's kind of funny. When I used to work on appliances, when I was in college, I repaired appliances. And in the wintertime, I'd get people calling me. They're in a panic because their refrigerator went out. And I'm like, well, yeah, I can charge you $100 to come out to fix your refrigerator, but you might as well wait till morning. Like, well, my food's going to spoil. I'm like, it's 28 degrees outside. Put your crap outside if you're that worried about it. It's not going to go bad. Oh, well, I didn't think about that. Yeah. Okay. Well, little forethought goes a long ways. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to check out my podcast on Wreaths Across America Radio at Fridays at 8 p.m. and Sundays at 10 p.m. It's super easy to find. Just download the iHeartRadio app, the TuneIn app, or the Odyssey app. Search for Wreaths Across America Radio. You get all the great programming along with my show, mine and Lynn's show, and the great music they play on there. It's just a great. So happy to be part of it. And once again, you can get my Mental Health Warrior book. There's still several copies out there. Wherever you buy your books at, you can find it, or you can go to my website at cliffordbauman.com, and you can order it through there. But hey, everybody, you guys have a great Wednesday. Be sure to take care of your phone. Get those apps updated. Get your computer updated. All the things that used to make you do in the military that you hated. And one thing that I found out when all this was going on, I have had passwords that I hadn't changed for 4 years. All my passwords are changed now. They're all very difficult. So difficult I had to write each one of them down, but that's okay. I got a notebook with them written down in. That's also kind of important too, is, if something happens to you, let's say you're traveling, you're not away from home and something, and you don't have your passwords written down where somebody else can access them at your house, that could be make things a lot more difficult too. So it's always good to have things written down where somebody else can access them.
A Rolodex of passwords.
Yeah, but don't forget to update them, though. You have to update them. But hey, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great week. And be sure to catch out my mental health minutes. I had a very heartfelt one today. And so it's something that's very important. If you just need a little lift or a little pick me up. But everybody take care and be sure to check out the Saturday show. Veterans Trash Talk is going to be a great show. And take care, everybody.
This is a food warning. The UN warns of an unprecedented global hunger crisis. In fact, it's predicted by 2030 that 800 million folks will struggle to feed their families, which means two dangerous things for you. Number one, higher prices at the grocery store. Number two, less food available. And when panic strikes, it will be chaos, making it even harder to get the food your family needs to survive. That's why it's vital, more than ever, to have a survival food stockpile. Introducing the deluxe 3-month survival food kit from 4 Patriots. It has 688 servings of meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, with delicious recipes like pancakes, mac and cheese, Aztec chili, and potato soup. They've even got spaghetti and lasagna. This isn't your typical survival food, and over 200,000 smart Americans agree. This is survival food that actually tastes good. But best of all, it's designed to last up to 25 years. You can stash it away and be confident that when a disaster strikes, you and your family will be ready. Go to 4patriots.com/VTT to get the deluxe 3-month survival food kit and the peace of mind